could.
Why don't I say that to the wedding figure out? I bought a big wedding figure, and everybody made it without me.
Yeah, it's been.
Oh, no.
That's good.
When you leave, be sure and let me know that.
Monty's trying to get pictures here.
Alrighty.
I thought I was scaring you.
Well, there's something about, there's just something about today. You and I weren't the ones getting married.
That's what we've got.
There will be a wedding, just not necessarily the one you
That's
got.
why we have 19 different ordained people here.
Just in case. Just in case. Kato will be ordained after she graduates from grad school. She'll have a doctorate in theology.
Ah, now you're being clever.
Come on, Em. Oh, it ain't mine. Don't kid yourself.
Well, you know, we had a National Celebrate Boldness Day last week.
Oh, it's up here on the
It's up here where it says wedding strip next to my butt.
I'd like to welcome all of you to our Okie Dokie Roadhouse, the Montana. We've got this in 2005 and we have certainly enjoyed it. And I'll make a few comments about that as we go through. You've all met Linda, my wife, and I'm sure that each of you know each other by now. So, and these two here, Emily and Jason, are star of the day. Let me tell you about a life of changing. On our return trip from Alaska this summer, Linda commented that since we brought this RV when we retired, it changed our lives in many ways. Our lives are filled with many changes that come to us in many ways. Finishing an education, getting or changing jobs, relocating to another city or another home. One of the most important changes in my life was joining the Navy at 17. The most important change was when I married Linda in December 1963, almost 53 years ago. That's a long time, Chris. Long time. This RV, this Montana, our Okie Dokie Roadhouse, has, as Linda mentioned, changed our lives. We've traveled to far distant lands in this home on wheels. We've been and seen so many beautiful and wondrous places, walked on the historical lands, and met with vast numbers of wonderful people. Some have become friends for life. This RV opened many opportunities for us to enrich our lives as we learn about our country and our neighbor to the north, Canada. It has recently been our home for 80 days as we toured the provinces of Alberta, British Columbia, Yukon Territory, and Alaska. It has taken us to Newfoundland, riding on a ferry for 14 hours, down to Key West and over to Vancouver and Victoria Islands and all over Utah. Nevada and California are the only states it has not been in, with Hawaii as well, and that ain't going to happen. How fitting it is that Emily and Jason are united in marriage here in the kitchen of our home on wheels that has given us such happiness, peace, and tranquility that began in March of 2005, over 10 years ago. We are honored, and we must admit, a bit amazed and amused that they chose this Montana as a location to join their lives as one. Emily and Jason now begin a new chapter in their lives, a change that offers new horizons to enjoy together. When asked where they were married, they can say, in Montana. Now, Linda's comment can be echoed by both of them. Since we were married in Linda and Monty's RV on October 22nd, 2016, our lives have changed in many ways. Let the journey begin. All right. Here's Doug.
I get the captain's chair for the captain. Have a seat. Make sure when we're all standing around here today, y'all remember this. Ask about Newfoundland because Miss Linda has got stories to tell that Mr. Monte don't need to know about. I'm just saying, I heard stuff last night when we were eating Thai food. I heard. All right, so we have Mr. Monte, Mr. Linda, or Mrs. Linda. Sorry about that. We have Mr. Jerry and Miss Judy. Okay, we have Miss Charlene. And behind me, Mr. Bill. We have our friend, that's funny, I can hear you are, my friend Kimberly. And we have Steve and Donna and John, who is Jason's brother. I want all of you to think, where were you in 1990? Good question. In August 1990, where were you? Making tires? Okay. You making tires. I know you making art.
Yes, big time.
Tulsa's Channel 8. I would ask you where he was, but I knew.
I don't know where he was.
Where were you?
I'm the legal secretary.
You were working, weren't you? Where were you?
High school.
What's that? Was that the same one you went to?
Yeah.
You were an Eagle?
Yeah.
Some of that. Where were you? Taking care of these two? Trying to put them through high school?
He's working too much.
All right. August of 1990. #1 movie. Anybody remember?
Was it Ghost?
It was Ghost. How about that with a little Patrick Swayze? And for the men, it was Die Hard 2. Blaze of Glory, Bon Jovi, the song. Anyone wants to sing karaoke? Man, I was counting on you. I was counting on you. Nothing out of you. Nothing out of you. All right. They're not singing. Hubble telescope launches in August of 1990. Tim Berners-Lee creates the first web server that becomes the foundation of the World Wide Web so that he can continue to work and support her. Although she may have more connections to the web on her body at any one time than any human will need. Have you figured out where you were? If you haven't yet, I know where Kimberly was, unborn. Were y'all born by 1990?
I wasn't, she was. I was just a baby.
Like she just called you old, but whatever. We still. August of 1990 is where we meet our heroes of today's show.
I am wearing a cape.
It's see-through, but whatever. Graves County High School, home of the Eagles. We have an incoming freshman. It's August of 1990, so there's no doubt he showed up in that class with his pants tight rolled up so that he could bounce in there, probably with a superhero on his t-shirt. Am I close?
Not really.
Come on, you didn't tight roll?
Maybe the superhero t-shirt.
You didn't tight roll? I don't
remember that being a thing for us.
I might have been the only one. All right. Whatever. All right, so we got a freshman and we have a sophomore, oral communication 1, and here's Emily Wilson, who Jason likes by now. I mean, I wasn't there, but I got to feel like I felt like something was going on when I heard the story. Of course, I heard it from her, so she kind of wrote it probably her way. But point is, she's got a boyfriend, right? So that ain't going to work. That ain't no good. Timing's important, right? We gotta have good timing. The next year in fall of 1991, they're taking a media class, and she's running the announcements every morning for the class, while he is the assistant, right? Okay, so you're taking care of the kind of the tech, making sure all the mics and everything are on, which means you can fix this TV before we leave, right?
Either one of us could.
Okay, good, because I'm counting on that. Otherwise, we'll have to pay them for the use of the facility. But I was going to tell you that later. So, after that, every day they went to lunch. Y'all hung out together every day for lunch. What'd you talk about? Weird Al Yankovic?
Probably came up a few times.
Figured that probably came
Yeah,
up. What else? Weird Al Yankovic?
probably.
You know, she said to me that every day at lunch you made her smile. That's important. That's how we get 26 years down the road, right? All right, 2009, they're not going to be together in school because in school she has a boyfriend. She is committed. He's not committed, but he was trying to be committed, but she was already committed, so you got to all stick. So everybody goes on. We all know eventually they're married, and then that's where we all kind of join together as one unit with Mr. Gary. And it's cool that all three, during the 2009 series of Eat, where Emily goes home and creates Eat, where she invites friends from high school and they all come over, and Jason comes over, and you keep all that going, and then Mr. Gary and Jason and Emily are all friends. So now you've got a very cool group of people, and it's good to have friends. And then we get to where we all really come together when we begin to see the illness take over Mr. Gary. So now we have Jason, a friend, and taking care of supporting both of his friends, which was a great time for them to know Jason. Not necessarily a great time, of course, but a great time for Jason to be there for both of them. And of course, Jason had some things he was working through, so they all got to work with each other. You know what they talked about at those Eat meetings? Weird Al Yankovic.
An anime.
I didn't think you were born yet.
Well, she is at Eat.
2009.
Yeah, I was at Eat.
Oh, okay, she was at Eat. You're like
They would go
12?
to Eat.
Okay, all right, you're both at Eat.
They would go to Eat
There's
with
more
me.
to the story in Eat. We're going to talk about that in a little while. So, Gary tells Emily in the last while that to make sure that she finds someone like their friend Jason and not some random jerk like everyone else we work with at Channel 8. I'm just saying, not Kimberly, of course. So that worked out real well. That brings us to where we are today. 26 years, we have 2 Eagles and one we didn't even know was going to be in the audience. We're going to join these 2. So as we gather to unite you in marriage, which is obviously an institution ordained by the state and made honorable by the faithful keeping of good men and good women throughout all ages, it's important that I'm supposed to say that you not enter this lightly. I'd say after 26 years, we in. We got us a rock solid commitment. We don't have 53 years, but that's possible. We got to start from the beginning, right? Do you, Jason Spivy, take Emily Elliott to be your wife, to love, comfort, and cherish from this day forward?
I do.
Do you, Emily Elliott, take Jason Spivy to be your husband to love, comfort, cherish from this day forward?
I do, and I have been, and always shall be, your friend.
Now it's probably a good time for us to exchange rings. Having thus pledged yourselves to each other, or each to the other, however you prefer, the correct way is probably the latter, I do now, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Arkansas, pronounce you husband and wife. Y'all can get your kiss on, parents. This is the time you want to turn around. Go ahead, do what you gotta do. You might want to see that. Mr. and Mrs. Jason Spivey, here we go. We've got it. How about that? 26 years.
Yay. Yay. You just knew I had to throw a Star Trek line in there.
Yes.
Yeah, we both.
Oh.